In three, in two, in one. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Yogi Show, episode minus 17.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. I'm excited to be here today. We got story time back in action.
Story time. You all
Who's
ready for
ready?
story time?
I think they're ready. We had a really good response to the first story time episode where Bryan shared two stories, and then we reflected on them. And I thought we walked away with some powerful messages. Like after we finished the recording, Bryan, I remember I was talking like, "Yo, that was powerful." And just like the comments and messages that we received after the fact just reaffirmed that there was a lot of value in that. So we're gonna do that again today. So grab your book,
Yes.
grab your not your book, grab your blanket, your tea, your coffee, your lavender eye pillow.
Yeah, maybe start a fire. It's
Yeah,
it's about that time, unless you're
it's
in Australia. Maybe I think they're
I think it's
different
summer. Yeah,
climates.
they
Yeah, it's
flip.
summer over there.
Yeah,
It's starting to get cold here. I mean, at
sweater
least in
weather.
Phoenix. And I mean cold meaning like 70 degrees Fahrenheit. That's
Yo, what
freezing for me.
I went out the other day. Yesterday I was like posting like it's fall in Florida, feels amazing. It was like 77. And I was being dead serious, but I could just feel all the memes. Like that's why Florida is all the meme. Like Florida is memes. Everyone that's
Yeah.
talking about Florida is just a meme.
Florida is memes. I mean, yeah.
100%. 100%.
So yeah, it is story time. And last story time, I talked about the story that I told in yoga class that was just sad and bombed and was not a good story to tell in yoga. And we're going to tell that story. We're going to start it off, but we're not going to make you sad because we're going to talk about it. We're going to give you some humor, hopefully. I mean, we have zero script on this, right, Pedro?
We have zero script ever, by the way,
Ever.
everyone.
Yeah, zero script. I mean, when I come on and do it, like I learn a lot from Pedro. So this
And I
helps
learned
me
from
out
Bryan.
too.
Yeah. So this is a learning experience, a co-created experience. And that's the best. Like Bryan and I have always, before we get into the story, Bryan, we've always reflected that we feel like we're usually at our best when we don't have like a strict plan, because we really ride the energy of um the connection that we have. And then when we do live experiences or when we connect with people in classes and whatever, like we base the experience off of like everything that's happening within and around us, right? And so sometimes it's
Yes.
hard to have like a script, but yeah, there's like a little plan we have, but there's not like this hard script. And that might be for you out there, that if you're running your life and people are telling you like you got to be planned, you got to have a plan, you got to have a plan. Like sometimes life doesn't go according to the plan. You know what I mean? Like life is
Yes.
life, and just enjoy the flow.
Sometimes you got to improvise and just see
Yeah.
how it goes and see what you say and see
Yeah,
what
totally.
happens.
And then reflect on it, and then notice if you say the word like 400 times, like I have before, like stop it. Like, you know what I mean?
Right? Yeah, that's the best way to go listen to yourself or record yourself teaching yoga and being like, wow, I'm saying that too much. Or I'm doing this too much. Or I'm twitching my knee. I remember the first time doing the Yogi show on Instagram Live. I was in a moving chair that moved around and I was like moving back and forth so much. It was ridiculous, terrible lighting. But yeah,
I don't remember, but I'm sure, but I'd love to.
I
I'd love to
wish
see it.
I wish I recorded that. And we decided today. So when we get on the show and we record, when we get on Zoom, we chat for like 20, 30 minutes before this. And we just chat about our life and like what we're working on. And we decided that we're going to put that as behind the scenes on our Patreon.
Yeah,
So we're gonna put that on
BTS.
behind the scenes, like in the future. We didn't record the one that we did this morning, which we should have. There's a lot of valuable
Super
things that we're
valuable.
working on. But yeah, in the future, so check that out. Check out our Patreon. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks for your support. Thank you for that. Yeah, it's
Yes,
just
yes.
patreon.com/the Yogi Show, and it's in the notes below. So we appreciate your support, and shout out to all our patrons out there supporting the show and supporting us. So thank you.
Supporting.
Supporting. Exactly. I don't know where
And if
that
you
was
haven't
going.
liked this, if you haven't liked the podcast or subscribed or told your friends, please do that. Please do that. We really appreciate that. It helps the podcast. And if you're on
Totally.
Apple, write a review. That helps with the algorithm.
Thank you.
So get that shit done, please. And now it's time for some
Here we go.
stories. So you ready? You ready,
Ready.
Pedro?
Mhm.
Everyone's ready. Got their tea ready. This story, and this is the one I told in yoga class that was the wrong choice. And
Okay.
I'm gonna talk about it, reflect about it. It's called The Blind Girl. All right. Here we go. So there was a blind girl who hated herself purely for the fact she was blind. The only person she didn't hate was her loving boyfriend, as he always was there for her. She said that if she can only see the world, she would marry him. One day, someone donated a pair of eyes to her. Now she could see everything, including her boyfriend. Her boyfriend asked her, "Now that you can see the world, will you marry me?" The girl was shocked when she saw that her boyfriend was blind too and refused to marry him. Her boyfriend walked away in tears and later wrote a letter to her saying, "Just take care of my eyes, dear."
Oh my God. You shared this in a yoga
Ah,
class?
I did. I did. I had like read it before, but I had read all these stories on here, and I thought this story was like a different story. And then, but I was in it. I was invested. I started telling the story, and I knew it was a disaster. It's like when you're playing golf and you just hit your drive on the tee box and you see it going in the middle of the lake. Like you see it just flying in the middle of the lake, and you're just like,
But
I
you can't
know that
stop
this is
it.
bad. You can't stop it. It's already out there. And that's what happened when I told this story. Like I read it ahead of time, and I read all these because we're gonna put the article in the description. This is
Oh
where
my gosh. I can't believe you shared that story in a class, man.
terrible.
First of all, I mean, at the very first sentence, it talks about the girl hating herself. I
Hating
mean,
herself, right?
I mean, that's like going up tee box. That's like putting the ball on the ground and like taking a practice swing. You could have taken
Yeah.
you could have just switched the club right then. You know what I'm saying?
I could have
You
stopped
could have
right there.
you could have went to the 4 iron instead of the sand wedge, you know.
I could have. But some things I do that are just so ridiculous that I look back on and I'm like, I should I should be locked up, man. I should be in an insane asylum. Like, why am I doing these things? Why am I doing these things to myself and other people? But
Oh
yeah,
man.
that was a story. So it says the moral of the story. Maybe this will help. Maybe it won't. I read this too, and I'm like, I don't think this helps much. The moral of the story: when our circumstances change, so does our mind. Some people may not be able to see the way things were before and might not be able to appreciate them. There are many things to take away from the story, not just one. This is one of the inspirational short stories that left this author speechless. The author that wrote this article, by the way, I didn't shout him out last show, but his name is Dan Western. So Dan Western from the wealthygorilla.com.
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, what do you think,
Thank you.
Pedro? Did that moral of
So
the story help at all?
it did. It actually did because it made me
Okay.
think about, and I reflect on all the time. You know, you see memes about it or like quotes about it when it's like, be happy like with what you have and where you are. Like be content. Kind of like with what you have and where you are. Right. If you're always thinking, or often thinking, like, oh, once I have that $1,000,000, like my life will just be I'll just be my life will be so much better and be easier and simple or amazing, and I'll love myself. I'll have more time. All these things, right? And
Yeah.
maybe parts of that is true. You know what I mean? Like if you have $1,000,000, like you might have some more time to do things in your life because you can pay for help or whatever. Like it just might be easier. But the happiness, like they talk about all the time, like just I don't know why I'm talking about money, but whatever. Here we are. Like the lottery winners. You know what I mean? Like they're happy for like a handful
Yeah.
of minutes or months or whatever, and then they're right back into that state of like, oh, I consumed all these things, but nothing. I don't, I'm not full. Like I'm not fulfilled. And so maybe when this girl got the set of eyes, she could her circumstance changed, and it wasn't what she thought it was going to be. Right. Because she had this preconceived notion of like, hey, when this changes, then this will happen. Well, when that changes, then that happens because you don't know what it's going to be like once something actually changes. You can't actually know until you know.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, did this girl know that her boyfriend was blind? Like,
No, he
did she
wasn't.
think so? She thought like he wasn't blind and like she was blind. So she just wanted to see. And then she realizes her boyfriend's blind too. And then she's like, I'm out. Like I'm
No,
going
he's
back
not.
on Tinder.
Wait a minute. No, he's not blind. He takes his own eyes out of his head and gives them to her.
Oh, that's true.
You know what I mean? So he
Yes.
gives her his eyes so that because he loves her so much, and then she is a fucking savage and changes. You know what I mean? Changes her script. And not that she's a savage, but she changes the script, because now she has something that she hadn't had before. So, like the whole skit changes. And
and it's like, let's talk about the dude. Like,
man,
he needs to take
her.
care of himself.
Well, hey, maybe that's he was showing he loved her so much and he wanted to make her so happy. And he already loved himself enough. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not Dan Western. I didn't write the story. I'm just interpreting it here on the Yogi Show podcast, the number one yoga, mindfulness, and gratitude show with the touch of humor in the entire land. Number one.
Would you give someone your eyes?
Is my wife listening?
Summer,
are my kids listening?
Mute this.
Are my kids listening?
Say if you were in this situation and it wasn't Summer. I don't know. I don't know. How are we gonna make this so you're not gonna get in trouble?
It's too late. I'm already in trouble.
Yeah, just say you will. Just say it. We'll have to put this on the behind the scenes.
Let's go on the behind the scenes episode. That's a really hard question, man. I think so. I think I would do it. I've seen the world, right? I have the visions, but if someone has never seen the world ever, you know what I mean? If they've never seen the world, what a treat that might be. And I don't even think it's possible. I don't think you could do that right now.
That is true. Like for that guy, he's like, he saw the world.
I've captured the world, and maybe his world is her. Maybe his world now is like her. You know what I mean?
It
was because she's on Tinder. You're savage.
She's on Tinder, swiping right now with those eyes, those new eyes.
So bad.
I don't think I would do it. I don't think I would do it. No. Yeah, because of this. I don't know. It's like I want my eyes. But yeah, it depends.
That's a hard question.
How much I loved someone.
How much are you in love?
But it's like love's a drug too. I mean, we can go all day with this.
We could. We really could. So
Pedro says yes. So Pedro, great answer. Great answer. Summer is happy. That's why you're happily married.
I am very happily married here, friends. Today,
job. And out there, if you're listening, maybe send us a message, make a comment, and just let us know what you would do.
What would you
give up someone's eyes? Your eyes for someone?
I don't know.
I would do it for my child.
Yeah,
for sure, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. If he needed eyes, I'd be like, fucking have them.
Take them.
Here you go.
Take them.
I don't need to see this shit anymore. I don't need to see this.
I've seen enough.
I don't need to see Karen's comments anymore. Like I'm fucking Karen or Carl. I'll say Karen and Carl.
Don't get Bryan started on the comments, y'all. Do not get Bryan started on the cancel culture. Don't get me started. Okay, let's read one more story. One more.
I really like this next one. Okay. I was looking at it earlier. Let me find it.
We're leaving y'all on a high. Maybe. I don't know what Bryan's actually going to read. So
yeah, it's definitely not that last one. And don't share that in your yoga story or in your yoga class. Please.
Do not use that as a class theme.
I like this story. Okay.
All right, here we go.
The story is called Control Your Temper. All right. Pretty fucking cool title. Especially for me.
I didn't say anything, anybody. I know
but you were laughing, dude. You were laughing with that laugh.
I was. All right,
I have
I'm
a temper, everybody.
Guilty.
I'm just gonna be open with it. I'm fucking get angry.
I'm fucking guilty. I'm just so
That's
good.
My family.
Hey, whatever. I'm telling you right now, you better sign up for the Patreon because the behind the scenes on the Patreon, you're gonna really love it.
Yeah, okay, you see the real Yogi Bryan.
Can the real Yogi Bryan please stand up?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty honest with it. I have a temper.
You are, bro. You are, bro. Yeah, man.
And all it's let's do it. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this story I love. Control your temper. Here we go. So there was once a little boy who had a very bad temper. His father decided to hand him a bag of nails and said that every time the boy lost his temper, he had to hammer a nail into the fence. On the first day, the boy hammered 37 nails into that fence. Damn, bro. A lot of nails, man. The boy gradually began to control his temper. Over the next few weeks, the number of nails he was hammering into the fence slowly decreased. He discovered it was easier to control his temper than to hammer those nails into the fence. Finally, the day came. Finally, the day came when the boy didn't lose his temper at all. He told his father the news, and the father suggested that the boy should now pull out every nail that he nailed into the fence. Let me read that again because I fucked that up. Finally, the day came when the boy didn't lose his temper at all. He told his father the news, and the father suggested that the boy should now pull out a nail every day he kept his temper under control.
Mm-hmm.
See? So
Yeah.
every day he kept his temper under control, he had to pull out a nail.
Got it.
The days passed, and the young boy was finally able to tell his father that all the nails were gone. The father took his son by the hand and led him to the fence. So the dad took his son, led him to the fence, and he goes, "You have done so well, my son. But look at the holes in the fence. The fence will never be the same. When you say things in anger, they leave a scar, just like this one. You can put a knife in a man and draw it out. It won't matter how many times you say, 'I'm sorry.' The wound is still there." And that's the end of the story.
Dang.
Mm,
That's some good lessons in that, man.
really
You
good
know,
lessons.
because I especially nowadays, like talking about people commenting angrily on things. Those are nails. Those nails when people are keyboard warrioring at their house in the comments on social media. Those nails go. They don't feel that good. They don't feel good.
Yeah.
As a content creator, they don't feel good. And I always think back to that person. Like they're just probably so angry or miserable in their life. They're just trying to take it out on somebody else. So like essentially, the social media creator, whoever, like they're the fence. They're the fence, and they're getting the nail stuck in them.
A lot of nails.
A lot of
A lot of nails.
um, but when we can act and react from this place of calm, of peace, and we've learned some lessons, we sometimes have to reflect on like, man, I wasn't so good. And first say it, there's been times when I have, I got 3 kids and sometimes stuff gets stressful and you say something, you're like, man, I wish I just would have said it better. I just wish I would have said that better. The message was what I wanted the message to be, but I just could have conveyed the message differently.
Yeah. I feel that. It's like, little guy, I got your college fund, but I also got your therapy fund in the future because you're gonna need this shit. You're gonna need this shit.
Yeah,
but it's true. Yeah, social media is the fence, man. People are putting nails in that nonstop. They don't think that they don't. I don't know what they think, but I feel like because it's social media that it doesn't hurt as much. But it hurts just as fucking much.
It
like
does,
to a lot
man.
of people. I mean, you see people taking their lives from like
It's
cyberbullying
terrible.
or
Cyberbullying is a real thing.
or just like influencers, get super stressed out. I know like it's been a practice for me to like not take it personal. And they do, like it really does. Like it stings, but then like there's ways to get over it. But it's like, watch what you say out there.
Totally.
I got to watch what I say. I mean, for sure.
Same.
Like
Same.
there's sometimes I want to fucking respond back out of anger. And it's like, man, this is not going to do anyone any good. It's just going to put
more gas on the fire.
More gas on the fire.
Yeah. I thought about that.
It's like, even words in person, it's like, those nails do cut deep.
Yeah, they cut, man.
What were you saying?
The other day I saw a post from Beach Yoga Girl, who I haven't seen on Instagram in a long time, just popped up. The algorithm decided to show me something. And it was a reflection that she wrote about. She posted something in which bikini should I wear or something. And it was like 4 bikinis or something, she said. And she's like, I had like, I don't know, I'm exaggerating, maybe like 4,000 positive comments. And she's like, there was only actually like 1 negative comment in there. But she's like, which one do you think stuck in my head? And it's like the one nail, like the one nail is what like stuck with her, and I'm like, man, that sucks so bad that that's the one that you remember, you know what I mean? But that she's not the only
Ah,
person. I've heard that many, many times, and I personally know that, I'm assuming you
yeah,
might too, Bryan, as someone who gets lots of comments on posts on things that you're creating. And it's true, So just, maybe this is just a word of advice for someone out there. Just be, mean what you say and say what you mean. And if you're acting and reacting from a place of anger, maybe just take a step back out of the ring of fire, ground yourself, and then
yeah,
make your statement from a
absolutely. Like, would you
place of
say
clarity.
this to their face? Like, would you say it
Oh
to their
man.
face? Because I guarantee you, Karen and Carl, you would not say that to my face if we were
No way.
walking down the street, face
Nope.
tattoos and all. You would not say that to my
Face
face.
tattoos. Yeah,
You would
no
not.
chance. No.
No fucking way. No fucking way. So, yeah, be nice to people out there. I know all the listeners on here. I know all the listeners on here. Do not make negative comments. They're all very nice. I know you all. I
Yeah.
just know you. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
You're all great people. You wouldn't say mean things in the comments, right? That's right. That's right. But yeah,
Shit.
maybe your friends or your family. Mom definitely. Mom definitely was in the comments. Good
Yeah.
old mom.
And I think about you're right, Bryan. Like the people that listen to the show, they're supporters of the show, right? And I would hope that the messages that we talk about, being mindful, practicing what you preach, allowing yourself time and space to take care of yourself, to laugh a bit, all those practices go a long way,
Yeah.
as far as like what you're doing in your day to day. You know,
Yes.
so,
Yes.
so
Well, we got like a little bit more time. I want to tell a story quick, just by memory. It's one of my
okay,
favorite stories. Really quick to just liven the mood a little bit for
liven
like
us,
a
bring
good
us up, B,
story
bring
to,
us up,
yeah, we're
B.
gonna bring us up. So it's the story of the Taoist farmer. You've heard it. Have you heard the Taoist farmer? I know a
No.
lot of people heard it. I love this story so much. I think about it daily. I've told this story probably hundreds of times on different platforms.
But
It's the
not
story
here,
of the
folks.
not here, not here. Story of the Taoist farmer. So there's a farmer. He has a horse. He has a horse, and the neighbors are very nosy. The neighbors come over and says, "Hey, that's so amazing. You have a horse." And the farmer goes, "Maybe, maybe it is, maybe not." The next day, the horse runs away. The horse runs away, gets the fuck out of town. See ya. Horse is like, "Bye, I'm out of here."
I
Galloping along, throwing the peace sign. And the neighbors come over and they say to the farmer, "Oh, that is so unfortunate. Your horse ran away. You had a horse yesterday. Now you have no horses. How bad does that suck?" And the farmer said, "Maybe."
Hmm.
Very next day, that horse comes back with like two other wild horses. Like this horse went out and recruited, like a fucking recruiter out there. Boom, comes
on
back.
recruiter on LinkedIn.
Yeah, recruiter on LinkedIn, like an army recruiter. Like, hey, come over here. Comes on back. Now the farmer has four horses total. The neighbors come over and they're like, "Wow, you are so lucky. Your horse ran away the day before. And now it came back with all these other horses. And you have four horses. Now, how cool is that?" And the farmer goes, "Maybe." So the very next day, the farmer's son is tending to all these horses. All these horses. Now the farmer's son's tending to them. The farmer's son breaks his fucking leg tending to all these horses. The
Ooh.
neighbors come over and they go, "Wow, that is so unfortunate. You got all these other horses and your son broke his leg. How shitty is that?" And the farmer goes, "Maybe, maybe." The next day, military is coming into town. A war is happening. Military is coming into town. They're recruiting. They're recruiting young boys to fight in the war. But they couldn't take the farmer's son because he had a broken leg. They
Mm.
took all the rest of the boys in the town. All the neighbors' kids are gone fighting in the war. The neighbors come over and they're like, "Wow, you're so lucky. Like your son had broke his leg and now he's not doesn't have to go fight in the war." And the farmer goes, maybe. And that is the end of the story, my friends.
Man.
Story of maybe. You never fucking know what's going to happen.
Just don't know. You know, you don't know.
Play out.
Your one handshake, your one conversation, your one interaction, your one random occurrence from your entire life changing. And you don't know when it's going to happen. It could be right this second. It could be 10 years from now. But whenever, if it happens, it happens. But you have to just keep going and ride the waves of the flow.
Ride the waves of the flow, ride the waves of the maybe. It's a maybe. Like that's life. Like I come back to that story so much because
dude, it's such a good story.
You just never know. It's like, oh, I was late for work or whatever. Like you could have missed like the car accident or something, you know, traffic or whatever. Like it's a maybe. It's not good or bad. Like nothing's good or bad.
I think about that. Yeah. I think about that all the time. Like yesterday, I think about this all the time. Like yesterday, I was getting in the car about to leave to go pick up my son from school. And real quick, I was like, oh, I forgot to grab my wallet or like a snack, whatever I needed to go back. So I go back inside, it takes me like an extra minute. I'm like, shit, in that 1 minute, like something could have happened that didn't happen, that I wasn't present to if I would have been in the car already. Or like who knows? But that shit happens all the time. It happens all the time.
And it's like, maybe you do break your leg, but then something else happens, you know, that you like, that it's amazing.
That's how my yoga started. I broke my wrist.
Oh shit.
I broke my wrist. My ex-wife was doing yoga. I go to this group meetup that she'd finished a workshop. I had a broken wrist, and the guy leading the workshop, my friend Francisco, who was on the show back in the day, he says when your wrist is uncast, when your cast is off, you need to go to this yoga thing because it's going to help you strengthen your wrist back up. And I said, all right, I'll do it. That's fine. I'm going to give it a shot. You know, I'm going to really give it a shot. And that was it. From then on, here we are. This is 11 years ago.
The Yogi memes, teaching beach yoga, hundreds of people.
Yes. Started from the broken wrist. Now we're here.
Started from the broken wrist. Now we're here.
Started from the skate park. So you just never know.
It's all a maybe. Yeah.
And I was going to leave the skate park before I broke my wrist because it was sunset. It was dark, just about to get dark. It was like the last board slide of the day. My truck caught the edge of the rail, went backward, you know, planted my hand, broke. Could have changed the life.
To be.
Man, what a good ending to this episode, man.
See? Yeah, lightening up the mood, everybody. Lightening up the mood. It's a maybe. So when you're out today, you might be driving, listening to us, or maybe you're sitting on your couch and it's a maybe. Like whatever's going to happen today is a maybe. You just go with the flow. It's the universe, the surrender. I love that story. One of my favorites. And that is the end of the show.
That's it, friends. We'll see you next time on the show. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this amazing community. Check out some links in the description of this episode to find out where to find us, to hang out with our community, to hang out with us in person, to practice with us, and to listen to more. We will see you soon, friends.
Namaste.
Peace.